Alright then, it seems we've reached a conclusion. Shall we go? He began to walk toward door 5. Clover and Snake followed, with 7 a short distance behind. Junpei, which door do you want to go through? There's 1 vote for each. That sounds like our chat. So there's door 4 or door 5? What say ye? Sorry. It may take a while for some people to show up. So we're just gonna have to go with what we have. I'll ask Hajime. I'll ask him as well. I won't even tell him what. I'll just say 4 or 5. Let's see what he says. You can't decide? What about you, Kay? Which one is June going in? I like June. Same here. Four? Oh no, Hajime picked 5. Okay, well I guess I'm gonna go with 4 then, because I'm gonna use him as a if we're tied for something. So I guess we'll go with 4. Decided that door 4 would be fine. Hajime, why? Well, he doesn't know what he's picking, to be fair. He just saw 2 numbers and he picked 1, so he would go through door 4 with Lotus, Santa, and June. Why had Junpei even considered doing otherwise? He would be there for June, for Akane Kurashiki. That seemed good. He felt it was the right choice to make. He made no shows of affection, but Junpei saw her as something more than just a friend from his childhood. He watched the other 4 walk toward their door. Ace, Snake, Clover, and 7. Junpei said nothing as they left. Before long, they had reached door 5. They talked to one another for a few seconds, saying things Junpei couldn't hear, and then laid their hands one by one on the scanner panel of the red. Ace grabbed the lever. His face tight with determination, he turned over his shoulder to look at Junpei and his companions. Goodbye. Be careful. I read that really strangely. Be careful, like she's a robot or something. As Ace pulled the lever, the door swung open, the mouth of a great hungry beast. Beyond the door, Junpei knew, lay the sad remains of the 9th man. It did not surprise him that Ace, Clover, and 7 hesitated. The body was not a pleasant thing. I'm gonna try to not move my mouse around so much because you can see it. Snake had no such problems, as his blindness made him immune to the horror. He stepped through the door, his feet making a wet splack in the pool of blood. That's disgusting. Thanks. Do you intend to kill me? I assume you haven't forgotten the door only remains open for 9 seconds, have you? Snake had not even bothered to turn around, but the other 3 steeled themselves and stepped through the door. Bye. Door 5 swung shut, closing with the heavy finality of metal upon metal. Junpei and his companions scrambled to the door. They pressed their ears to it in an attempt to hear what might be taking place on the other side. It's beeping. It's just like before. Probably the sound of the detonator on the bracelet. Do you think they're okay? June's face showed her concern more plainly than her words ever could. Almost as though in response to her question, a voice rang out from the other side of the door. It was 7. Hey, there it is! That's gotta be the dead thing. The dead thing. Come on, get over here. We gotta authenticate. The beeping stopped. The sighs of relief were audible even through the heavy door. Whew, looks like it stopped. Junpei and his companions leaned away from the door and breathed a collective sigh of relief on their own. Hey guys, are you doing alright over there? They'd heard Seven's voice, but it wouldn't hurt to be sure.
Yep, we're fine.
Despite the recent danger, Clover's voice was as bubbly as ever. Oh good, so I read it okay.
Oh hey, I'm gonna tell you about this whole dead thing, okay? The dead is just like the red, but the color's different. You know how the red was red? Well, the dead is blue. Other than that, it's just like the red. Authenticating is the same, too.
Awesome. Thanks, that'll help a lot. Or that helps a lot, sorry. Well, we should probably move on now. You be careful out there. Roger that. Roger that. These kids. Junpei and the others left door 5 and headed toward door 4. They stood in front of the red and placed each of their hands upon it. The dead thing, I know. But then when they say dead thing, I think of the 9th man just laying there in pieces. Rest in pieces! 4 asterisks appeared on the screen. Oh, hey! Junpei grabbed the lever and turned around. You guys ready? Yeah. Sure.
Let's go.
None of them looked particularly optimistic, but their faces were set. Junpei nodded to them and turned back toward the red. Alright, let's go! With strength and determination, he pulled the lever. Pull the lever, crunk!
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. Hey, Neo.
Run! The 4 of them leapt through the door together. You can't talk about levers and not quote Yzma. I'm sorry. I had to do the Emperor's New Groove. The moment they had passed through it, each heard a cold electronic sound coming from their wrist. In the center of each bracelet, a red skull appeared and began to flash. Okay, you're making me laugh. Oh my gosh. The detonator's countdown had begun. In the long moment that each of them spent staring at their wrists. Boom, door closed. The numbered door behind them closed, the sound of metal on metal reverberating down the hallway. There was no way back now. They were committed, if they could not find the device to deactivate their detonators. Hey, where the hell's the dead? Why are you disappointed? How would I know? Don't give me that crap. Start looking. I already am. They began to run, eyes looking frantically. We haven't even done anything yet, and you two are already bickering. They began to run, eyes looking frantically for the device that was the key to their salvation. The hallway they found themselves running down was a long one, easily 300 feet in length. On the right side of it stood a series of wooden doors, all nearly identical. If they had taken time to think, they would likely have discerned that the doors lead to cabins. Don't tell me the dead is in one of those rooms.
Oh no! How many rooms do you think there are?
Junpei was too frightened to count properly, but at his best guess, there were 7 or 8 of them. Ah, fuck! There wasn't time to... Junpei, wow. There wasn't time to count them to be sure. Junpei ran to the nearest door. He grabbed the knob and shook it, hard. It wouldn't open. It didn't feel locked, more like someone had hammered an iron plate over the other side of the door.
Hey, guys!
Junpei turned around to find another door and saw that his companions had already run to doors of their own. They did not seem to be having any more success than he had. Their own words confirmed his fears. Shit, this one's no good!
Are you... You can do it, Neo. I hope for a speedy recovery.
Same here.
It's not moving!
June was the last to speak up. As Junpei looked in her direction, his eye caught something he hadn't noticed before. A small red light. It flashed at him dimly from the end of the hallway. That's it! Over there! Even as he yelled, he ran. He grabbed Santa, Lotus, and June and pulled them toward the light. Santa called out to them as he ran. Hey, how many more seconds do we have? How would I know?
Our time limit is 81 seconds!
I know that, goddammit! I'm asking you how many seconds we have left! In all likelihood, Junpei figured nearly a minute had already passed since the door had closed behind them. If that was true, urgency foremost in all of their minds, they arrived at the end of the hallway. The dead sat on the left wall, blinking almost tauntingly at them. Hurry! Junpei grabbed hold of the machine, his hands slick with sweat and shaking. He slammed his hand against the scanner panel. The other three quickly followed suit. Junpei's got like super strength, that's how he pulled all three of them. With a grunt, Santa yanked the lever downward. Wrong lever! I had to. Oh no! That's terrible, Neo. I wish you all the best. That sounds really painful, too. Lots of panting. Phew, looks like it stopped. His hands beginning to steady, Junpei wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded on his forehead. As they caught their breath, the four companions began to look around. As they caught their breath, I read that. At the end of the hallway lay a heavy-looking set of double doors. Can you not hear me? Yeah, you can. Set into the walls of the hallway on either side of the larger door were two smaller ones. They all needed inspecting, but Junpei began with the largest of the three, the double doors. I'm sorry, it was a lot of panting. I apologize. Lots of pants. Byron's pants. How many times had he come across similar doors with similar results, he wondered. Or perhaps he and by the way, Neo, it was like 3 different characters panting. It was a guy and 2 girls panting, so, you know. Or perhaps he corrected himself more a lack of results. I'm not reading well at all. Let me try again. Whatever the reason, the door remained firm and unyielding and refused to allow Junpei, or anyone else, passage. Near the handle was a small keyhole. Above the keyhole was a small symbol engraved in the brass. Mail? He wasn't quite sure what to make of it and stared at it for a moment in confusion. It was June that corrected him. No, that's not the symbol for mail. That's probably the symbol of Mars. Well, technically, they are the same symbol. But I saw a number of similar symbols near the main stairway. The symbols of the solar system. The sun? Saturn? The Earth? At least, that's what I'm assuming. So this isn't the man symbol, it's a symbol for Mars? I think so, yes. While Junpei and June talked, Santa had disappeared. They turned to find him some distance down the hallway. He had gone to check the other doors. Eventually, he reached the last of them and jogged back. It took him only a moment to catch his breath again. Here's the deal. None of the other doors open. Then that must mean... We only have 2 more doors. Lotus examined the doors on either side of the large double door. Each one had a metal plate attached to it. Junpei figured they were probably room numbers. The door on the left read B92, and the door on the right proclaimed that it led to B93. All right, let's open them. Yeah. That was a really long pause before yeah. Junpei put his hand on the doorknob for the door that said Room 92. Santa moved to the door to Room 93. They'd made it through the numbered door alive. There was nothing more to be afraid of. Junpei and Santa looked at each other and nodded. 1, 2, 3! In unison, they pushed against their respective doors. And promptly found themselves in a new room. June followed Junpei as he threw open the door. They turned around and saw that the door on the other side was open as well. Through the door was another person, his mouth agape. It was Santa. Hey, it opened. Yeah, it did. Junpei and Santa looked at each other. They had not expected the doors to yield so easily. Lotus's calm voice broke into their thoughts. Maybe this is all part of Zero's plan? I can't say I enjoy being treated like someone's puppet. As she headed for Room 93, Lotus continued. Well, now we have these 2 rooms. I'm sure there's something in there that'll help us get out of here. Weird pause. Let's find it. Santa and I'll search this room. Junpei and June, search the other one. All right.
Okay.
Aha! Seek a way out. Okay. Let me think.
This is kind of a weird looking picture. Do you think it's an abstract painting or something? It looks kind of like a demon with an elephant-like nose, sucking on a human being's brain.
Where the hell did that come from? What's her brain made of? Can't say I'd mind finding out a little more about what goes on in there. Junpei. Let's take a look around this room first. Feeling nostalgia. We got matches! Go away. Sorry, I was talking to my antivirus thing.
It's a box of matches. There are matches inside, obviously.
Hey, Flames! Junpei looked down blankly at what he was holding, then up to June. Sorry, up at June. Oh yeah, how's your fever? You feeling better now?
Yes, I'm feeling fine.
June certainly looked fine. Junpei held his hand on her forehead for a few seconds. Oh, that's cute. It seemed her fever really had gone down.
Are you worried about me?
Are you worried about her? They're so cute. They need to stop it. I know which answer Kate wants to pick. Yeah, I guess I am. June blushed and giggled.
By the way, Junpei, how did you end up here?
What do you mean? I told you earlier, didn't I? He's so cute. I love Junpei.
There was a man with a gas mask when you got home at night. You inhaled some white smoke and passed out. When you woke up, you were on D-Deck.
Yeah, that's it.
But is that really the truth?
What?
Junpei, are you hiding something from me?
No! Why would I?
Well, if you think about it, this is awfully suspicious. I mean, why would 2 childhood friends bump into each other in a place like this?
Hey, I could ask you the same thing. Are you hiding something?
What would I hide?
Well, I don't know. Anything. I mean, you're hiding it. How would I know? Sorry. Always worry about June.
You mean like the number of men I've dated?
Junpei's heart stumbled over itself.
Do you want to know?
He had to admit he was a little curious.
Don't worry.
She smiled at him.
Only 18. Times 0. Yeah, I guess I just haven't met Mr. Right yet.
June looked a little embarrassed and scratched the back of her head in a desperate attempt to seem nonchalant. Junpei coughed quietly in much the same way.
Anyway, I'm not hiding anything. Just like you, Junpei. When I woke up, I was on D-Deck.
Well, you do have a point. I mean, why did Zero pick us? Why? Blah, 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 blah. That's not why, that's we. We haven't seen each other since elementary school. June nodded, and for a few moments she had the faraway look of someone in deep thought.
Look for what connects the victims. That'll lead you to the culprit. Do you remember Seven saying something like that?
Yeah, I do. So?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think this must all have something to do with a classmate of ours.
You got any ideas who it might be?
No, nothing.
Oh.
Well, if it had something to do with school, then it could be one of our teachers, or maybe the principal.
Or the janitor or the lunch lady?
No, I can barely remember any of them.
Yeah, I know. This is so awkward. Junpei went back to searching, feeling unpleasant and confused. Elementary school. Elementary school. Was there anything strange that had happened in elementary school? As he searched the room, he continued to rack his brain. Alright, let's check this room. This isn't a painting. Is it a map?
It looks like a map of the ship's interior.
Oh, this is a great find. I think it'll be really useful. Let's take it with us.
Yay, we have a map.
You're shipping it already? I know, they're so cute. They really are.
Okay, I know. Okay, it's a map. Yep.
Oh my gosh. These tutorials are so long, it's just for a map. Junpei took one last look at the map, then folded it up and slid it back into his pocket. June looked up as he closed it.
This ship is bigger than I thought.
Yeah, it's probably about 900 feet long.
Must be one of those fancy cruise ships.
Of course, it doesn't really look like a cruise ship. Everything in here is really retro. Even if it's some sort of style choice, there's just too much.
Do you remember what Zero said?
That's true. On April 14th, 1912, the famous ocean liner Titanic crashed into an iceberg. After remaining afloat for 2 hours and 40 minutes, it sank beneath the waters of the North Atlantic.
Do you think maybe this boat and the Titanic have something to do with each other?
That's a good point. I doubt he would have mentioned it if there wasn't any reason. Junpei took a moment to look around the room. Do you think this boat is a replica of the Titanic or the actual Titanic?
Oh no, it's okay, Wolf.
Replica? Replica! My references today. Alright. A replica of the Titanic? Def the real thing. Could totally be the real thing, even though we just said it sunk. Yeah. You know, like a copy of the actual boat.
Who on earth would make something like that?
Fans. Crazy Titanic fans.
No way! Do you even know how much money that would take?
No idea. But all they've got to do is break even, you know?
Break even?
Yeah. They could use it as a cruise ship. Climb aboard a piece of history, sail around the world in the resurrected Titanic. Hell, with marketing like that, they'd probably have more customers than they'd know what to do with.
Do you really think that people would want to ride on a ship with such an ominous past? It's the site of the worst accident in history. Over 1,500 people died. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd get cursed just for going.
A curse, huh?
Junpei, do you believe in that sort of thing? You know, curses and stuff?
I do? Or, no, they're a load of crap. What do you think of curses and stuff? And stuff. I don't know what she means by stuff, but I guess we'll never know. Load of crap, Neo says. Kay believes. So there's one vote for each. Load of crap for the win. Oh no, are we tied? Oh, no. I think Flames just broke the tie. So I do wins? Yeah, well, I guess so, to a certain extent. Junpei scratched his temple. What about you? Nah, I guess it's kind of a dumb question.
Yes, I do believe in curses. In fact, I think it was a curse that sunk the Titanic.
What?
A curse sank the Titanic. The curse of the Egyptian mummy.
Junpei couldn't understand how June had maintained a straight face to say that. Where are we?
Supposedly, the Titanic carried the mummy of the priestess Amun-Ra, which was stolen from a pyramid. And they say that the mummy had a history. Everyone involved with it died mysterious deaths. Come on, I'm sure you've heard of it before. Those who open the coffin will be forever cursed. Haven't you ever heard that one?
So you're saying the Titanic sunk because of that curse?
That's right.
June's eyes had lit up with excitement, like a child with a new toy.
That mummy, the priestess, supposedly she was special.
What do you mean?
Well, supposedly she was really pretty.
Pretty?
Yes,
But she was a mummy.
that's right. She wasn't all shriveled up or rotten or anything. She looked just like she was alive.
Oh, I get it. It's that thing, I don't remember the name, when your body turns into some kind of wax? If a dead body's put in the right sort of environment, the fat in it turns into something kind of like candle wax, right? And...
Yes, saponification, but that's not what it was.
Huh?
That's not it. She wasn't wax.
Then what is it?
They say that she was frozen.
What? Frozen?
That's right. The whole body was frozen solid. You know how a human body is more than 60% water? Well, all of that water was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery all the way to when it got put into the Titanic, and even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted.
June and Junpei talked a little more and then went back to their investigation. But even as they did, his mind went back to what she'd told him. Ice that wouldn't melt, even in the desert. Could such a thing really exist? No, even if it did, it wouldn't really be ice anymore, would it? The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Like he'd eaten his ice cream too fast. Brain freeze. It's a light blue blanket with some designs on it. Someone's made the bed, or at least never unmade it. There's only bed sheets under the blanket. Nothing exciting. Okay.
A bed frame. Now we don't have to worry about falling off. I toss and turn when I sleep.
She's blushing again. What the hell's she thinking about? What the heck, June? What are you thinking about?
Ah. We got a key. A key? Do you think it's the key to the dresser?
Not this one, because this one's open. Let's go back out.
Door.
There's a little blue platform protruding from the shower wall next to the knobs. It's for putting soap on. I used a shower once, so I know. Damn it, Junpei! You sassy asshole.
That's the shower knob. Let's see if anything happens when we turn it. No water's coming out.
It's just a shower head. There's nothing special about it. I love that. I used a shower once, so I know. Now let's check the toilet.
There's nothing there. The tank's empty, too. There isn't even any water in it. A collection of full and partially depleted rolls of toilet paper. Someone was well prepared. There's nothing too suspicious about it.
Yeah. Why don't we go back to the living room?
Okay, let's go back.
Back it up.
Junpei, where are you going?
I was thinking of going over to Lotus's room.
Why?
What do you mean, why? I'm just gonna go check up on them. Is there something wrong with that?
Well, no. Come back soon.
Sure thing. I'll leave the rest to you.
Sure. Leave it to me.
Alright, off to the other room. Plattern. Oh. There's a square tile in this frame. It's glued in there quite well. I don't think you can take it out. Just looked familiar is all. candle with a candlestick. This might come in handy. It's a candle, Junpei. It's on an iron candlestick. She said that like you're such a moron. That's a pretty big candle. If we light it, it'll probably get really bright. Hey, check this out. This is a pretty nice sofa. I know. It's a shame I can't take it back with me. What? Priorities, you guys. Hey, Junpei, that room's pretty dark. Don't you have something that'll give us some light? Something that'll give us some light. Yep, we do. Let's combine the matches and the candle. I know. If I use these matches to light the candle... Lotus like, it's a candle, Junpei. Awesome with the light. I said awesome weird, I'm sorry. Awesome, with the light from the candle, maybe we can take a look around over there. But it gets so hot when I hold it. I want to put it down. Well, why don't you set it on top of the dresser? It's flat there, at least it won't fall over. Oh yeah, good idea. Oh, Junpei. What a genius. Hey, it got pretty bright. Now we can look around a little. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Oh, it's like super dark over there. Let's try this dresser key here. Let's see if this... Yes! Yes, it worked! Super extreme. Oh. A plate, which I already have a feeling I know what it's for. It's pretty obvious. I'd like to think. There's a picture of an old cruise ship. Is it the Titanic? A curtain. A curtain, huh? Well, it's got all these metal rings, probably so you could hang it from something, you know? Yes, but it doesn't look like a normal curtain. The way it feels, I think it's probably waterproof, which would make this a shower curtain. A shower curtain, huh? Oh, huh? Hey, what the hell? It just got dark all of a sudden. Maybe the candle got blown out? We should go see. So suddenly, though? Okay, so it did. There's a candlestick covered in melted wax on top of the dresser. That was quick. Hey, what's this? What's this? The top of the candlestick looks kind of weird. You finally finished Fatal Frame? Oh, congrats! You're right. It's all bumpy. Candlestick key. Part of the candlestick where the candle goes looks like a key. A key, huh? I think I ran into a lock I couldn't open earlier. We didn't investigate this. Well, this is a display case. Check it out. These plates and shit look really expensive. You want to take a look? Ah! We need it! This tile. I think I've seen it somewhere. Yeah, I know. Kinda looks like the one we saw in the other room. Let's see if this candlestick key'll do anything. Yes! It opened! Alright, pull that shit open! Pull that shit open. Okay. Take it. Hey Junpei, you got a minute? Santa had shown up out of nowhere and gave Junpei no small start. Here, take this. Santa pulled something out of his pocket. It looked like a bookmark. It had a 4-leaf clover in it. What is this? I found it in between some of the cushions on the sofa. Pretty sure it ain't gonna be any help to us, but I figured we might as well hang on to it anyway. Then why don't you hold on to it? Santa gave him a wry smile. You know what I hate the most in the world? I got 4 things. Hope, faith, love, and luck. Hope, faith, love, and luck? Damn straight. And you hate these things? Yeah, you got a problem with that? Not really, but... Junpei tried to figure out how best to phrase what he wanted to say. What does a bookmark have to do with any of that? Santa scratched the back of his ear and looked awkward. Well, see, each leaf on the 4-leaf clover has a meaning to it, okay? And that meaning is pretty much those 4 words. It's like a flower language. Well, I guess it's not a flower, is it? So a leaf language, I guess. Yeah, You could call them leaf words. Leaf words. Junpei looked at the bookmark. Hope, faith, love, and luck. So, yeah. I want you to take it, okay? Just touching it gives me the creeps. Take the damn thing, alright? Santa pretended to shiver with disgust and shoved the bookmark into Junpei's confused hands. Junpei, what do you want to do? Take it or don't take it? Sorry. Texting my brother. I see, take the things, all the things. Take it? Alright, sorry about that. Junpei decided to take it. After all, why shouldn't he? Alright, sure, I'll take it. He shoved the thing into his pocket and gave Santa a last confused look. Phew, man, I feel a lot better now. That thing was a real pain, you know? Do you really hate those 4 words that much? Yeah, well, they can all betray you, you know? Hope, faith, love, even your destiny. What had happened to Santa, Junpei wondered. How had he become such a bitter person? For a moment, they looked at each other. Well, that's not my only reason. What? That's not the only reason I hate the 4-leaf clover. I just can't bring myself to like the number 4. What, worried about the 4 horsemen? Nah. Come on, man, that's just silly. Maybe back in the Dark Ages that kind of crap scared people. But this is the 21st century, and I'm a 21st century guy. Then why do you hate 4 so much? Hey, Sander. 'Cause it's a half-ass number. Not the best or the worst. That's why. What? 9 is a way better number. So what if it's last place, right? At least it's not some lame-ass middle number. Santa's explanation made no sense. Junpei was even more confused than before. You play? Play? You mean like gambling? Or what? You mean like play the stock market? Sorry, there's so many decisions. I'm gonna save while I wait for your answers, I think. You say stocks. Anyone else? Oh my. So 1 for stocks and 1 for gambling? Stocks? Stocks wins. You mean like the stock market? Nah, that's not what I mean. Why the hell would you think that? I mean, yeah, I do stocks too, but... This last statement, more or less thrown away by Santa, caught Junpei very much by surprise. Celeste male form. You? A stockbroker? Yeah. Got a problem with that? No, you just don't look like the type. What Junpei didn't say, of course, was that he didn't think Santa looked smart enough to be a stockbroker. Whoa, Junpei, judging by appearances. Man, that stuff's just like gambling, you know? All you gotta do is bet on the winning horse. Nothing that hard about it. You sure sound pretty confident. So, are you betting on winning horses? Of course I am. You remember a couple years back when the stock market, when the stock for Cradle Pharmaceuticals shot through the roof? Stacked a few bills over that, if I do say so myself. Uh-huh. Was all Junpei could think of. He'd never even heard of Cradle Pharmaceutical. Fortunately, he was saved quickly from further embarrassment. Hey! How long are you gonna stand around wasting time? Stop screwing around! The voice screaming at them from the other room was unmistakably Lotus's. Junpei and Santa looked at each other. The lady has spoken. Santa sighed. We better get back to work before we really piss her off. I don't want her beating me up. And with that, Santa walked off, slowly. Hey, wait! We weren't done! He started after Santa, intended to catch him, but... Lotus appeared from the next room, blocking his path. Her posture suggested she was not about to let him pass. There was nothing for it. He had lost. Okay. I'll get back to work, damn it. Her glare suggested any other choice would not have ended pleasantly for him. Junpei mumbled to himself under his breath and went back to his search. Oh, Lotus. Oops. This is the bathroom wall. The whole wall is covered in these square tiles. Okay. There's a curtain rod on the ceiling. Yeah, there is. but guys, there's no curtain. Maybe we can put it... Let's put that shower curtain on those hooks. Ta-da! Let's try spreading the curtains. Okay. Wow, that's a pretty obvious peephole. Somebody's really dedicated. Well, with a hole this big, you gotta wonder if maybe they wanted to be caught. So you're saying maybe the one getting spied on was into that shit? Maybe they were into, like, those home invasion fantasies. Home invasion? Interesting. I see. You two are real idiots, you know that? No argument there. Let's try spreading the curtains. Yes, there's a hole in the curtain. If I look at it from a ways back, I can see a single tile. Alright, from here I can see what tile it is. Looks like it's 5th from the top and 3rd from the right. Might as well pull it back. This? Let's have a closer look, shall we? Nothing strange here. Nope, thing's not budging. Well, then that means... What's up? You going back already? Well, I can't just leave June there by herself. What, you think you're her knight or her protector or something? You're creeping me out. Whatever, man. I'm going. Here it is! Yes, this one's loose! I think I can get under this with my nails and... Yes! Ta-da! Try the other bathroom that looks exactly like that bathroom. Lotus and Santa are in the room on the other side. I'm gonna go check up on them. June didn't even say anything. So I guess I'm supposed to put tiles in the empty spaces. Alright, I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, we gotta replicate the painting on the other side. So we have to turn this thing.
I did it!
Yes, I did it! That's what I just said. There, picture complete. And there goes the frame. What's this? What do you mean, what's this? Pretty obvious, isn't it? It's a hole in the wall. Like a hidden safe or something, you know? Anyway, let's take a look. I think there's something inside. The Mars key. Whoa, this is one of those Mars symbols. The door at the end of the hallway. It has the same symbol engraved on the keyhole. Then that's gotta mean... Yes, we can use this key to get through that door. Okay. Junpei messed around a bit with the key he had and looked blankly at the picture that slid down. What's the deal with this picture, anyway? Santa had only been mumbling to himself, but it drew Lotus's attention. She looked at the picture and paused. I think I've seen this picture before. Where? In a book. There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. I saw this picture in his book. What's the interesting theory? Morphogenetic field, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance. Man, I can't deal with this. Just listening to you talk is about to give me a headache. Santa put his hands on his head as though he were in great pain. Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued. It's not a difficult concept to grasp. In essence, he states that the shapes of living organisms and their behavioral patterns are transmitted through a field not visible to the eye. What part of that isn't difficult exactly? Lotus did not look pleased. Alright, how about this?
Hey, Day.
Theory of the telepathic mechanism. Telepathy? Yes, telepathy. Well, perhaps not exactly telepathy, but it is close enough for a simple approximation. Sudden Santa is what I wanted to say. Santa suddenly burst into laughter. Are you serious? Telepathy? Who do you think we are? Kids from the 70s? I can't believe someone would actually do serious research on something like that. Yes, I agree. Lotus's response was surprisingly curt. Junpei had expected at least some conflict. I read the book, but I can hardly say I understood it. I'm in no position to defend or condemn anything it said. It was probably just someone latching onto a statistical outlier from some study and turning it into a ridiculous theory. There's no scientific merit to any of it, I'm sure. But even so, Anyway, I saw a picture like that one in this book. I read that really dumb. I saw a picture like that one in his book, sorry. Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. Yeah, kind of just started. Pretty much, I mean, it's still the beginning, but... After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke. Hey, what do you think this picture looks like? Santa answered first. What do you mean? Isn't it just, like, abstract or something like that? It's just black and white scribbles. There's no meaning there. That's it. What about you, Junpei? Does it look like anything to you? What does this picture look like? I guess it looks like a man's face, a butterfly, a koi, a dog, a small boat floating in a lake, or Fanyarimpa? What the hell? What is Fanyarimpa? I don't even. There's one vote. Anyone else? Two for that? Okay. Fanyarimpa? See, I mean, this totally looks like one. Here and here. Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei. Uh-oh. What the hell is a Fanyarimpa? What do you mean, what the hell is a Fanyarimpa? You mean you don't know? How the hell would I know? How could you not know? That's practically blasphemous. Say you're sorry. Apologize to the Fanyarimpa. Goodness, you are such a rude woman. What? Another 3 seconds of awkward silence went by. Lotus opened her mouth as she shook. Junpei, are you just screwing around? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog. See? Like this. That was the best. Thank you, Val. Junpei's so full of shit. I love him. Lotus pointed out parts of the picture, and eventually, a dog took shape in them. Ta-da! It looked as though she had a point. It was a dog. Santa also nodded in agreement. So, now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us.
Lotus nodded and began to speak. A TV show from Great Britain did an experiment once. They took two similar pictures. Both of them were difficult to identify initially, but once you'd figured out the answer, you couldn't see it as anything else. The first picture was a woman wearing a hat. The other one, well, to make it easier, let's just say it was this picture of a dog. So, their experiment. First, they sent the pictures to the other parts of the world where British radio and television didn't reach. To Ireland, the US, Africa, Europe, etc. Then, in each country, they gathered a number of test subjects. All in all, there was roughly 1,000 people. Those 1,000 people were shown the two pictures and asked, what does this picture look like to you?
Is it really?
It's a Boston Terrier, no? And of themselves were not terribly interesting. 9.2% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. 3.9% saw the dog in the dog picture. Then 2 days later, they broadcast a new show. During the 30-minute show, they broadcast the dog picture and its solution. The audience was estimated to be 200,000 people. After the broadcast, it could be assumed that the number of people who knew the solution to the dog picture now totaled over 200,000 people. Breath. After another 2 days had passed, they gathered a number of research subjects from areas where British TV and radio did not exist. This time, they were only able to find a sample of roughly 850 people. Naturally, none of them were people who had participated in the first test. They were, however, given the same test and the same two pictures. The results were shocking. 10% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. The previous test had yielded a 9.2% success rate. The change was not statistically significant. The dog picture, however, produced a very different result. The percentage of people able to successfully find the dog grew from 3.9% to 6.8%, a very significant increase. So, do you understand? Do you realize the significance of this? There was no way the second group could have seen the picture. They lived far away from Britain and couldn't even see the picture. But even so, it was only the success rate for the dog picture that went up. Why? How did that happen? What does it mean? Lotus looked back and forth from Junpei to Santa and back again. Normally calm and collected, she looked now as though she were very nearly possessed, and there was something manic about her manner. Santa took an involuntary step backward. Junpei didn't budge and stared straight back into Lotus's eyes. Does this have something to do with that field or whatever it was that you were talking about earlier? A field not visible to the eye? So if more people know the answer, then that information will pass through the field. Psych! Her manner suddenly shifted and Lotus smiled broadly at Junpei and Santa. She waved her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole confrontation off. Oh, I was just kidding. You really shouldn't take me seriously. Well, I mean, the things I just told you about are true. They really did happen. But the results of that experiment really aren't anything to go by. They could have easily falsified them. In the end, I'm sure they were just in it for the ratings. They are a TV station, after all. At last, it seemed that Santa had gained control of his composure. Right! Man, I gotta admit, you had me there for a minute. I really thought you were serious. Of course not. Like I told you before, I'm sure it's all just pseudoscience. Oh, okay. Right. Santa and Lotus laughed and gave one another jovial claps on the shoulder. Junpei, however, didn't feel so much like laughing. Something felt wrong, unclear. Alright, enough nonsense. We've got the key, let's get out of here. Word. Who says word? Lotus and Santa walked away from the picture. But Junpei stayed, staring at the picture of the dog. A field not visible to the naked eye.
Morphogenetic field. The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Okay. Thanks for totally confusing me, Lotus. Alright, let's go to the hallway. I'll go get June. You guys head to the door. Okay. Roger that. Word. Yes! It unlocked! Good job, Junpei. Good, now we can get going. Come on, what are you guys standing around for? Let's get out of here. It's a Funya Rimpa, goddammit! You apologize to the Funya Rimpa. If you want, I mean, somebody's already answered that question, Day. Sorry about what the game's about. So you may want to look for a synopsis or something online.
Come on, Junpei, let's go.
Alright, let's go. Off we go.
You found it! Oh, thanks, game. I did it.
I did it. They stepped through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway. Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. A short distance away, a metal grate extended across the width of the hallway. They took hold and shook, but it refused to move. Only because, Day, I can't really summarize it every time someone asks because I'm reading the game aloud. So if I had to keep saying what the game was about in every recording of the game, it would get pretty old. That's the only reason I guess I request you look it up online. Because I don't know where everyone else is to briefly explain it to you, but I know Bal already did. Nearby was a pair of elevators. It took only a few button presses to determine that the elevators would not respond to their efforts. Oh, there we go. There's Bal. Bal, just copy and paste that. They could only assume the elevators were not powered. There was only one door left. Well, looks like we don't have any choice. Yeah.
Sure does.
Well then, let's open it. Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. He entered, slowly trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. Thanks, Bal, by the way. The others followed shortly. Oh, so it's a kitchen. Santa did not look pleased.
What were you expecting?
Isn't it obvious? The exit. I was hoping this would be the way out of here. You really think it'd be that easy? Yeah, I know. Still. As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. We found the Funya Rimpa. Until at last she stood in front of a door. If we can just get through this door, we should come out on the other side of that grate we saw earlier. But don't we need a key for that? Sorry, I guess that wasn't very constructive. Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy. Junpei dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did... Hey! What's that? Huh? Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the B deck. Before Junpei Before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him. She ran her finger across it, muttering to herself. I knew it. See? Look. Junpei did as he was told. Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well. See? We came in here. If we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of the grate. With her finger, Lotus traced a path on the map. She was right. Satisfied that she had been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei. He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket.
There's a card reader on the right side of the door.
Then that means the key card's somewhere in here, right? Funya Rimpa sounds like something Tingle would say. No, you're definitely right. Because he says what? Kuru Rimpa? Or something? I think? Something like that. Something like Kuru Rimpa. And that seems the most likely. Alright, we know what we need to do then. Let's get moving. First off, I say we split up and look for clues.
Okay.
Oh, well, we just got out, but we gotta seek a way out of here. We just got out of that one place, but let's find a way out of the kitchen. I'm gonna, oh, oops. This looks like a serving table. I would imagine food is put here after it's prepared so that the waiters and waitresses can take it out to the customers. Derp. But something doesn't seem right here. Why are there so many plates? I was looking for the save button. I don't remember what it is. It's not A. It's not S. It's not that either. What button is it?